Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 24 of the classic wrestling series. So, I was actually looking on the WWE Network earlier today, and I've noticed that I'm only missing one show from the One Night Stand series of pay-per-views that they did. So, you know what? We're taking off another pay-per-view we've done. We are watching One Night Stand Extreme Rules from the year 2008. We have got a TLC match for the World Heavyweight Championship pitting Edge against The Undertaker. We've got a last man standing match between Randy Orton and Triple H at the time. And we've got a first blood match between John Cena and JBL. But we're kicking things off with, I think, one of the better matches on the card, because I have seen this show before. It's Jeff Hardy versus Umaga in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Let's do this. I apologise. It is not for the Intercontinental Championship. I thought it was. So, that one's on me. I apologise. So, we just had Jeff Hardy versus Umaga in the Falls Count Anywhere match to open up the show. And I'm not going to lie. I liked this match. I thought it was a really fun one. It was entertaining. So, they blow in the ring. They jump outside. It takes like probably 4 or 5 minutes before they jump outside of the ring. They go to the back, they go up to the concession stand, they go outside, and obviously they get to a 18-wheeler parked up there. Hardy climbs up the ladder, kicks Umaga off it. A swanton bomb off, gets the win for Hardy. I liked it. You know, it is a Falls Count Anywhere match, so obviously you're going to have Falls Count Anywhere, so you might as well use it and go for it. So yeah, this was really fun. It was entertaining. You know, Jeff gets the win. I would believe as well that Jeff would go into a feud with Punk when Punk wins the world title, going into like SummerSlam and stuff like that, which would result in a loser leaves WWE match between Punk and Hardy. So there we go, a little bit of insight for you. So into the future of WWE for Jeff Hardy. So yes, entertaining, all good, very nice. So we will get to our next matchup. So we just had a Singapore Cane match to determine the right for the #1 contender to face the ECW champion and Night of Champions. We had Big Show versus John Morrison versus Chavo Guerrero versus Tommy Dreamer versus CM Punk. There were 4 canes on the poles, and then all of a sudden just a trash can of Singapore canes came out. Hilarity ensues. This wasn't too bad. It was a bit messy. There were 5 guys in the match, so there was action everywhere. Missed it. This is 2008 WWE, so we gotta take that with a pinch of salt. But the offensive lineman for the San Diego Chargers, before they changed to the Los Angeles Rams or whatever they're called now. I'm not entirely sure what they're called now. Yeah, got hit, so he got hit by Chavo Guerrero, so Chavo Guerrero got one back. And Big Show just won the match after a choke slam. So it's Big Show versus Kane. If I recall, at Night of Champions 2008, it would be Big Show versus Kane versus Mark Henry, I think. I'm going to have to double check that one. But yeah, I think it was Mark Henry in the match. It turned into a triple threat match. Choke slam gets the win for Show on Tommy Dreamer, just so you know. So yeah, this was fun. It was entertaining. So yeah, it was good. So we will carry on. No, it was a Singapore Cane to the head after the Chokeslam gets the win. So yeah. So next matchup. So we just had John Cena versus JBL in the First Blood match. This was basically just weapons arrows. Both men decided to take the turnbuckles apart from each corner that they were standing in before the match started. They used weapons. They used steps, barricade, chairs, chains that would get the win for Cena. With the STF using a chain to basically make JBL draw blood. This wasn't too bad as a I Quit match. It was First Blood match, sorry. That's this match we're watching now. It was fun. It was a fun matchup. It was entertaining. You know, Cena and JBL can put on a good match, and yeah, this was a good matchup. So entertaining. Right, our next matchup is an I Quit match. Also, before the show, this match, we had Orton and Batista talking about their respective matches. So Batista's talking to Orton about Triple H, and Orton's talking to Batista about Shawn Michaels. So let's get to this I Quit match between Melina and Beth Phoenix. So we just had Melina versus Beth Phoenix in the I Quit match, going on 4th. Both women used submission moves, which I thought were really cool. Beth Phoenix using submission moves was a damn good idea. But this was entertaining. It was well done. A bit of a I think this was a very long matchup for the women around that time. I think it was like a 9-minute match. Normally, some women's matches would be about 4 minutes max. As said by Michelle McCool in the interview she did with Undertaker on the podcast. So if you want to watch that interview. It's a really interesting interview. But yeah, Melina has to say the words "I quit" after Beth Phoenix puts her in the grab. God, I'm trying to think what the bloody move was now. It was a modified version of the Glam Slam. So she puts the legs bent and held out, so she was wrenching on it. But this time she just sits down, puts her arms, under the chair, and just makes Melina tap out and say, "I quit." So our next matchup is going to be the stretcher match between HBK and Batista. Let's get to this one. So we just had Batista versus Shawn Michaels in the stretcher match. This was fun. This would set up the 2008 feud of the year between Shawn and Jericho, with the throw-in in the Jericho 5000 on Raw. But this was a fun little matchup. Batista really needed a win after Backlash, after the injury angle, the fake injury to Michaels to get the win at Backlash. So yeah, this was a fun matchup. It was entertaining. It was well done. And Batista wins by power bombing Michaels onto the steps, if I recall, and then just popped them on and just pushed them over the line. So yeah, this was fun. It was entertaining. So we will now get to our next matchup. So we just had Triple H versus Randy Orton inside of a last man standing match. This was fun to a point. This was entertaining. Orton's selling the shoulder really well. I hope he's not injured. I don't think he was injured at this point. But this, actually no, he actually broke his collarbone landing on the outside of the area. So yeah, it was one of these things, and then Triple H wins by hitting a sledgehammer on Orton to get the count of 10 and retain the WWE Championship. So that is all good running from Mother, Buzz Lady. So our main event is going to be Undertaker versus Edge in a TLC match. Let's get to this one. So we just had Edge versus Undertaker inside of a TLC match for the World Heavyweight Championship. This was a really fun matchup. They used tables, ladders and chairs. Oh my. And this was really good. It was an entertaining matchup. Edge wins after pushing Undertaker through off a ladder through 4 tables. And yeah, this was really fun. It was a well done match. The ability to be able to work with Undertaker, I don't think you can have a bad match with Taker unless you are really bad in the ring. It's good to okay to a point. And yeah, this was a really fun matchup. Edge, retains and all that. He does go on to hold the belt for a little bit, then loses it to, I think Punk cashes in on him, if I recall. Yeah, I think so. I think Punk cashes in on him. And that leads into SummerSlam and all that a year later. So yeah, this was entertaining. So, with that being said, what did I think of Extreme Rules 2008? One Night Stand Extreme Rules, which would then turn into Extreme Rules in 2009. This was a fun show. It was entertaining. It was well done. And yeah, I recommend watching it. So, with that being said, I will catch you next week for the next episode of CWS. Don't know what we're going to be watching, but it'll be fun. So, with that being said, TTFN. Ta-ta.